Hello and welcome back to Asia Now. In this video, I'll tell you about an African swindler arrested in the Philippines, an update on the missing British expat that I covered a couple days ago, alleged spies married Filipinas to mask illicit crimes, what does Trump's aid freeze mean for the Philippines, plus much more, beginning with the USD to peso exchange rate. Right now, $1 equal to 58.4. Let's get into our main story. A 52-year-old Cameroonian man, Oscar Ogi Mbang, was arrested in the Philippines by the Bureau of Immigration at Naya on January 27th. He was on a blacklist and watch list due to a deportation complaint from 2019 and a fraud indictment in 2020 for swindling a creditor. Authorities believe he previously left the country illegally to avoid prosecution. He is now detained in Taguig City while awaiting trial. If convicted, he will serve his sentence before being deported and permanently banned from re-entering the Philippines. I've always wondered that what happens in these cases. Do the criminals actually go through the whole process, due process in the Philippines, and serve their time if convicted, and then they get deported? So kind of cool to give us a bit more details about this specific case. And then an update for that missing expat in Thailand. The family of James Sangwine, a 33-year-old British man from Essex, who is confirmed to have passed away in Thailand after he went missing for several days. Thai police have not yet released details about the circumstances of his passing. Sangwon, who traveled to Bangkok on January 18th, lost contact with his family after a night out on January 20th. He was last seen heading to the abandoned mansion, bar, and restaurant and was due to fly home on January 24th, but never boarded his flight. His family has launched a fundraiser to cover his repatriation and funeral costs. The Just Giving campaign has already raised £21,000, exceeding his $15,000 goal within hours. Any remaining funds will be going into a trust for his young son. A tragic end to the story. As I mentioned the first time when they released this information, I was really hoping they simply did not want to go back home. And now a sad reality for people that are traveling. Sometimes bad things like this happen. Honestly, there's no silver lining here, just to try to be aware of your surroundings, whatever happened to this person. If there are more details revealed, I'll bring that to you guys so we have an idea of what to look for when we're traveling. And then the Bureau of Immigration Philippines claimed that suspected Chinese spies entered into a marriage with Filipinas to mask their espionage activities in the country. Some of them have been here since 2002, over 20 years, and just being part of the community, and more details will come regarding this. Actually, China's asked and requested the Philippines to provide due process for the citizens during this whole ordeal. Let's try to look at some more positive news. Nearly 100 marginalized Moro villagers in Cotabato town in the Moro region benefited from the eye care mission led by government officials and a private humanitarian team on Monday. If we don't know, the Moro people are the marginalized Muslim ethno-linguistic group in the Philippines. They are the minority group that have been displaced from their ancestral lands and have faced discrimination. There are about 5% of them, according to Google, still in the Philippines. Nothing new when it comes to any indigenous people. I think in any country, they suffer some really hard times when it comes to just going back. Even Canada, I think last year, 2 years ago, maybe you don't know, but there was some atrocity with the schools and all that. And then the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources in the Philippines Coast Guard rescued 37 fishermen after the vessel capsized in the waters of Balabac, Palawan. I've always been curious about what happens when that, if your boat just flips. Yeah, okay, you got life jackets, but how long do you wait in there? Do they have a system of people radioing somebody? Because some of those boats, if you've traveled, they don't really have all that stuff going in there. There's no, it's not like the movies where they have a GPS system and a helicopter gonna come and rescue you and all that stuff. Probably just some locals that know what time the ship or the boat is supposed to return, and if it doesn't or something. If anybody's been in that crazy situation of just simply, being capsized in the water, what's the next step? Because someone like me, I'm great at swimming, but I know 5 minutes, maybe I could survive. Even that seemed like a long time. So let me know any information you have regarding capsization. Let's go back to Thailand. Thai tourist police have arrested 3 Chinese nationals in Bangkok for allegedly operating an illegal online gambling network with over 200,000 members and a daily turnover exceeding 2 million baht. During a raid on a luxury condo in Hoa Quang, police apprehended 3 people, and basically they were running a Cambodia-based Defa Bet gambling site. Authorities seized computers, mobile phones, SIM cards. Police have said that those individuals are also wanted China, and this is part of Thailand's crackdown on illegal workers, essentially focusing heavily on online activities. Goes to show you the Philippines is not the only country suffering from stuff like this. I've covered this several times because it's really prevalent in this region, anywhere from Cambodia, Myanmar, Laos. I haven't heard too many stories, but I would assume if it's happening within all those other countries, no country right now is safe when it comes to illegal peoples doing illegal things. Okay, so now our next story is kind of connected to what was supposed to be yesterday's main story, but you may have noticed that the video was a bit short. That's because the main story was about 1/3 of that video, and I had to completely remove it because I spent all night trying to get it past YouTube guidelines. Let's not get into all that as usual again, but the point is, somebody had a good ear and caught me saying something like, I'll just show you guys what I mean. I said something completely that was out of place and had nothing to do with the previous clip. This is what I said. This on Facebook. I hope he's found and he's healthy and well. And this is why you don't want to spend any time at all in a Thai jail or prison. As you can see, the conditions are horrible, and I'm sure it's a lot worse if you get sentenced for a long period of time. But there was no story attached to that, so I guess when I removed all the clips, I forgot to remove my reaction to that. Long story short, this British expat said that he ran into a sign and he offered to apologize, but the police arrested him, took him to the jail, and the conditions of the jail was horrible, and he showed some images and video of the jail. But Pattaya police have debunked his whole story, basically saying, no, none of that is true. This dude did a whole bunch of stuff. He ran into a sign. He was completely intoxicated, and the footage actually was not from the Pattaya jail. So yeah, they're calling this dude out big time. A Pattaya police chief has dismissed claims by British tourist Andrew Hopkins that he bribed his way out of jail as largely untrue, following reports in the Daily Mail. However, police have pledged to review the case for transparency. Hopkins alleged that he was forced to pay 50,000 baht for his release after being arrested for knocking over a sign. He claimed he was held in poor conditions for 36 hours before being taken to an ATM to withdraw money. However, Police Colonel Nawin Tirawit countered that Hopkins was only fined 100 baht, only $3, and initially released, but later caused further disruptions leading to another arrest. Police insisted that he was processed properly with belongings returned and CCTV surveillance in place. The case is now under further review as Pattaya police seek to uphold their integrity and reputation. A whole bunch of angles you could take on this. Tourists being tourists, intoxication, bribery, the police not doing enough. All those are true in different situations, but I guess just not in this particular one. Next up, a 25-year-old woman discovered a hidden camera disguised as a pen in her rental pool villa in Ban Lamung, Chonburi. The device was found near a dressing table facing the bed. Fearing unauthorized recording, she reported the incident to the Foundation of Women and Children, which assisted her in filing a police report. The woman is pursuing legal action against the villa management for violating her privacy and is concerned about potential misuse of the footage. That's one of those things. I mean, for me, I don't care. I'll let it all hang out. I got nothing to be ashamed of. But as a woman, it's a whole different story. Your dignity, I don't care. I'm not trying to be politically correct. It's very different to see a dude compared to a woman, obviously. It's not the same. I don't care what you tell me. Men don't really usually, whatever, right? It is what it is. Yeah, I'm on her side. I hope they completely go ahead and crack down on this situation and arrest or fine or do whatever they got to do to whoever is actually at fault here. And then Thai authorities have recently arrested a 27-year-old Israeli man identified as Mr. T in Pattaya for overstaying his visa. He was wanted on an Interpol red notice in connection with a serious legal case in Tel Aviv. Officials report that Mr. T and another individual were involved in an incident where the person was following the event. He left Israel using a false passport and later settled in Pattaya. Thai police apprehended him on February 3rd and are now working with international authorities to arrange his return to Israel for legal proceedings. I never understood those people that are on the run from the law. You go to Pattaya, the most highlighted place in the country, buddy, go somewhere in the village, man. Start raising cows and chickens and start farming. Whatever you got to do, come on, man. What are you doing? Okay, let's go to the U.S. a little bit. U.S. President Donald Trump's recent freeze on foreign aid, has put at least 39 development projects in the Philippines on hold, affecting key initiatives in environmental, conservation, education, and healthcare. The suspension ordered by Secretary of the State Marco Rubio on January 24th exempts only Israel and Egypt. Interesting. The freeze impacts projects funded by USAID and the State Department, including nationwide forest protection programs. While the suspension is expected to last 90 days, concerns remain over long-term consequences, with some warning that future funding, particularly for anti-corruption and diversity programs, may be at risk. Advocacy groups are calling on the Philippine government to step in and support affected initiatives. Okay, so lots of aid going to these countries. All that is not going to be covered on this channel, but it looks like the Philippines will be affected as well. Speaking of being affected, so the tariffs, Canada, Mexico, here's what Trudeau had to say about that. Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced Monday that U.S. President Donald Trump has agreed to put a hold on the tariffs on Canadian imports for 30 days. All right, so potentially some deal can be made over there. Now time for a segment Yesterday Today where I read some of the most popular comments regarding our previous video. Definitely Cryptomundo with a $2 super thanks donation to the channel. Thanks, I appreciate that. Cornell says, didn't go through the victim's pockets. Victim grabbed the bag and jumped on a scooter. Critical thinking 101. A. 50,000 pesos in a bag. B. What was the purpose? C. Who knew about it? D. A random guy showing up in a single location where an expat has 50,000 pesos, a bag at just the right time. That's bullshit. I can't find another word for it. That's complete bullshit. Randy says, have to agree with a lot of the comments. The guy knew what to grab. Either the partner set him up or the guy followed him from the bank or ATM. Some foreigners don't know how to hide their money. Amigo 2K10 says, yeah, my girl told me about this. The problem I see now is that they'll assume people with sling bags are carrying that kind of money with them. That is what is worrying now. And Time says, a little suspect that the robber knew what to take. I watched the live-in partner. So it looks like a lot of people suspect the partner has something to do with this, something to do with inside job. Whatever the case, honestly, I think it's always best to go ahead and try to withdraw any kind of money, do any kind of banking during the daytime. Of course, there's never a guarantee for anything, but you definitely reduce your chances. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you like that, subscribe, share, like, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.